Aaron Rodgers, it was talked about a lot. He gets to face his former team, the Packers, dressed in Steelers, whatever they were wearing on Sunday night.
I would, before you keep
Yeah,
going,
yeah.
what an awful decision by both teams in terms of a uniform matchup. That was just terrible. We had, like I said in the preview, two all-time brands in the NFL, and the fact that we didn't get to see that Green Bay Packers gold helmet versus the Steelers in black and gold on primetime football. Instead, we got to see throw up on our screen, literally yellow throw up and white throw up on our screen. I like the Packers white uniforms, but like that was not the game to wear them. What a collapse of a potential all-time historic uniform matchup. That sucked to see.
Anyway, I guess a good point. The Steelers pull up in their terrible uniforms and move the ball a little bit offensively, but the theme of the night for them was not getting touchdowns. You end up kicking 4 field goals. Boswell hits all 4. But considering the Packers ended up scoring 35, and Jordan Love does respect National Tight Ends Day, and they're feeding Tucker Kraft all night. He has a great day after the catch. He gets open at will. And so they put up 35, and the Steelers, because they can't find the end zone, can't keep up. And the final score is the Packers win 35-25. Y'all's thoughts on this game?
Yeah, Packers first half versus Packers second half. Steelers are up 16-14 going into half. Felt like they maybe have a chance to win this game. I remember saying as we left, talking about our Sunday show, that I don't know if I said this directly, but we were 30 minutes away from a 4-1 best bets segment for me this week. And then the Steelers collapsed in the second half. Packers in the first half their drives were a touchdown, 3 3-and-outs, and 2 missed field goals. In the second half, 3 straight touchdown drives, 2 field goals. They score on 5 of their 5 drives. The one I don't count the last drive because they were kneeing it out. 5 of 5 drives in the second half they score, including 3 straight touchdown drives. The Jordan Love regression, people, which I will continue to give him crap for, but it's not one of his worst takes. So Jordan Love was 29 for 37 for 360 and 3 touchdowns. On the season, he has 257 passing yards per game, 13 touchdowns, and just 2 interceptions. He's already had his bye, too. In those rankings, he's 8th in passing yards per game, 11th in passing touchdowns, and 30th in the NFL among quarterbacks in interceptions. And again, like I said, they've already had their bye, so he's kind of behind in terms of racking up numbers there. He's been dynamic. Christian Watson returning was huge. He was, of course, has the big catch down the field. And it's just another weapon that they get to have with him back off the ACL injury. Matthew Golden was, of course, disappointing, and he is upset about that, and he showed some frustration about that. Maybe that's a storyline going forward, but this wide receiver by committee is just going to work because the 3 receivers, at least the 3 best ones that they have, and this doesn't even include Jaden Reed, who's still injured and could come back. Romeo Dubs can get it open.
Didn't he break his collarbone or something?
Yes, he broke his collarbone in the Commanders game.
And hurt his knee?
I don't know about his knee.
I believe he also did hurt his knee.
He's been on IR. He will return at some point this season.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he hurt himself early enough in the season.
Yeah.
You're going to take that injury, take it in week 2.
Yeah, and so with Dubs, he can get open when he wants. He's also really good at catching a 50-50 ball. Christian Watson showed that the ACL injury didn't really hold him back against those Steelers defensive backs.
Yeah.
And Ramsey and Darius Slay and Joey Porter Jr. And then Matthew Golden, we expect at least at some point to have kind of a breakout game with how talented we thought he was. Not Sanders, but us two, and Jack and I. So
especially
that wide receiver by committee, and that doesn't even mention their 2 best weapons, Josh Jacobs and Tucker Kraft.
Yeah.
So they offensively finally had their ceiling game, and I'm excited to see that as a guy who picked the Packers to be the number 1 overall seed.
Yeah.
And to win this division. That was a really, really good showing from them offensively, albeit against a defense that hasn't been producing, which is disappointing. But I give the Packers credit because I just expected the Steelers to finally kind of put up or shut up defensively, and they didn't.
They shut up. Yeah, the wide receiver by committee thing is a great point. 10 different Packers caught a pass, and 7 different Packers caught 3 passes or more. So I mean that's sharing the wealth
Yeah.
to an extreme. Now one of the receivers to catch 3 passes was Matthew Golden. He totaled 4 yards
Yeah.
on those 3 passes.
And his long was 4 yards, so he had 2 catches for 0 yards and then 1 catch for 4 yards.
Not exactly what you want, but hey, they're showing right now that even if he can't get going, they have other options. The Christian Watson coming back was big.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the other side of the ball, it just kind of seemed like, yeah, the Steelers scored 25 and they moved the ball somewhat effectively, but the Packers weren't ever really concerned or stressed. The Steelers didn't have the explosives or the playmakers to like find a way to defeat that defense.
Yeah, no, not at all. And that shows in their drive chart. When you don't have the ability to hit explosive plays over the tops and it's so dinky and dunky, every once in a while you're just going to fail on a series. Their 10 drives were 6 scoring drives where they scored points and 4 3-and-outs. Like no real in-between right there. So they, offensively, they can really just get dink and dunk you all the way down the field and pick up big 7 to 8 yard completions and continue going down the field, or they'll just go 3-and-out immediately. Rashawn Gary and Micah Parsons, 2 sacks for Gary, 1 for Parsons. For me, but though the padlock stat of this game, missed tackles. The Steelers had 11 missed tackles. The Packers only had 3, and that in large part helps avoid the explosives for Steelers and that offense. I wouldn't panic on the Steelers offense because they scored 6 out of 10 drives against the Green Bay Packers defense, which a lot of people think highly of, and we do as well on the show. So it really is, again, on the Steelers defense being the big reason here. But I agree. The Steelers or the Packers defense were never scared of the Steelers offense, and they shouldn't be. But also that's well known. We know that is going to be the case for the Steelers, that they're not going to be dynamic offensively. Their formula is hold the team under 20 points, the opposing team, and score more than 20 points. They did their job offensively, but they just didn't do it defensively in this game.
Yeah, I completely agree. There's no reason to panic. I literally just, in the exercise we did earlier, had the Packers making the Super Bowl. So, oh well, the Steelers couldn't match up to that. I am interested to see if they do anything on the at the deadline to try and address their defense. But the defense is already so expensive and so like theoretically loaded with names. I don't know what the play is.
I think,
but
Chris Collinsworth said at the end of the broadcast, so I don't know if y'all caught it, but he was saying they should trade for a receiver. And I don't necessarily
Steelers?
the Steelers, and I don't necessarily disagree.
Sure.
They may just need to score more points, and also it would help them potentially in the explosives if, like, you could get Rashid Shaheed from New Orleans, who's on the market apparently, or Brandon Cooks. Please take Brandon Cooks instead, if you don't mind. But someone like that, because they have the physical threats in DK Metcalf and the 3 tight ends, but they don't really have anybody that can beat you over the top like that, like just beat you immediately off the press coverage. So maybe a guy like Shaheed could help them there.
Sure.
And that could help them a ton going forward and hitting explosive plays, because they don't have that really whatsoever. What has worked so much for them is being able to run the ball, which they did not do well on Sunday night at all, and then playing play action off of that. And then also just Rodgers playing pitch and catch, taking the snap, throwing it like it's backyard football.
Yeah.
Like we're working on our goal line stuff.
Sure.
So maybe a receiver is something that they target, because, like you said, the defense is so expensive. And honestly, the defense has the players. The defense just isn't doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Because they've got Darius Slay, they've got Jalen Ramsey back there,
T.J. Watt, Alex Highsmith,
Cameron Hayward.
Jack Sawyer has been pretty solid for them this year. Joey Porter Jr. is thought of as one of the best corners in the league. It's just been disappointing for them defensively, given the names that they have back there, to not be able to hold some of these offenses to not scoring points.
Yeah.
Jets to begin the year was like a shock, them scoring 32. And then in their last 2 losses, they've given up 33 and 35 points. All 3 of their losses, they've given up 31 points or more. and they've given up 31 points or more 4 times this year. They're 1-3 in those games. That just is never going to be the recipe for success. It's always going to be their other 3 wins, which is they have scored 20 points and held the other team to 21 or less.
Yeah. And then y'all know that I'm a PFF guy, and I just thought this was funny because a couple weeks ago, the Steelers played the Browns, and Myles Garrett had 0 sacks and recorded a higher PFF grade than TJ Watt. And this week, Micah Parsons has a sack. TJ Watt does not. TJ Watt has a higher PFF grade than Micah Parsons. I do not see any Steelers fans apologizing or saying that Micah Parsons is better, nor do I expect them to.
Sure.
I just thought that was a little funny, like all these Steeler fans up in arms because they think that PFF is out for TJ Watt and trying to end his career or something when he just posted a better PFF grade because snap to snap, he had better performance than Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
So I thought that was funny. A funny little tidbit there.
They're just also so clearly in denial because Myles Garrett is just so much better than TJ Watt.
Yes.
But I wouldn't trust a Pittsburgh Steelers fan or really any fan base
last tidbit on that
to
one.
not back their guy.
I'll put it back up then.
It's just a historic thing. The Packers defeated Pittsburgh for the first time in Pittsburgh since 1970.
Wow. How many times have they played in Pittsburgh?
I think they've probably played 4 or 5 times.
Okay.
Because you probably play them once every.
And these are the 2 teams with the most Super Bowls
on the road. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Very storied.
San Francisco has also got 6 Super Bowls.
I mean, it's a great matchup.
Green Bay, I think, has only 4, but they are 2 of the most historic
and
franchises ever.
Pittsburgh has only had what, like a half dozen head coaches? Is that right? Where they've only had like a very
correct
small number of head coaches. It's been Tomlin, and then they had the guy who does CBS now, whose name I can't remember.
We weren't alive then, so we don't have to remember that. But
yeah, but
I agree.
You know who you're.
I know who you're talking about. I don't know
Coward.
His name. No.
Bill something?
Cowher might be right.
I feel like it's.
I don't know, man.
Anyway, and
we
then
weren't
you got,
alive then. We
so
don't
you've got
have
the
to know
Steelers.
that.
I just think it's funny. You got the Steelers and Packers with the most Super Bowls. Steelers have only had a couple head coaches, and you have the Packers who have had 3 quarterbacks in the last 40 years.
LeBron.
So it's like 2 of the most just like level, consistent football teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
Very little turnover there.
Sure.